Apple Tech Center, and this past week for Apple has been an interesting one. First, we got iOS 14.7.1, which I will be going over in a future video. But we also got iOS 15 Developer Beta 4 and iOS 15 Public Beta 4. So this is basically going to be my experience with the Public Beta 4 and the Developer Beta 4. The build number and stuff, because I haven't been on YouTube in a little while, which I'm sorry about that. It was my birthday month, and I don't work on my birthday, or I don't record on my birthday. But, so, since I missed it, so let's go to the About page, and as you can see, I got a new iPhone. In the recent videos, I had the iPhone 8 from, I don't know what year, and now I have the iPhone SE 2020, which has all the new features as the new phones, because this has the A13 Bionic chip. But anyways, the new build number for iOS 15 Developer Beta 4 and Public Beta 4 is 19A5307G. That shows that we are currently in beta form. So, let's get on to the first feature. So, the first thing I noticed is, if you go up to focus right here, and let's just put on sleep, because this is where I figured this out. If I turn off my device, and actually go right here, as you can see, used to you would have to haptic touch this, but now you can just touch it and it brings you into your actual thing of all your focus, and then you can turn it off or just keep it on. But that's a pretty cool feature that I just noticed before recording this video for you guys. So that's pretty cool. Over is if you go into your Photos application, I did actually notice something, that if I go over here and I go to a photo like of a dog, as I said, I got the iPhone SE. So apparently it's working for me, but I saw from another YouTuber called Brandon that this wasn't working for him. So as you know, when you take a picture of a dog, it'll say that it's a dog, it recognizes it's a dog, and you'll have this visual lookup, and you can look up dog, which is one of the best features in iOS 15. Apparently Brandon said that it didn't work for him, but for some reason it does work for me right here. So that's one thing. So apparently for some people it is working, like where you can do the visual lookup. Comment down below if you're having problems with the visual lookup feature on iOS 15 Developer Beta 4. I would love to hear your results. So, something else that I noticed, if I go here, so in one of my last videos, I said that that I wasn't able to share it, but now you're actually able to share your memories, which is pretty cool. It's awesome to see that this is finally in iOS 15, so you can come share it, and you can obviously save it to your camera roll. So next, if I go into the control center, the notes icon has changed from iOS 15 Developer Beta 3 to Developer Beta 4. It looks like this now, where you can do a new note, new checklist, new photo, or scan a document right from the control center. So it's pretty cool that Apple is bringing all this to iOS 15 Developer Beta 4. Also in the control center, as you can see hearing, if I haptic press on this, in the previous beta, it had a little speaker for this background sounds, but now it shows a little ear, as you can see right here. Oh, that rhymed. I did not mean for that to rhyme. Anyways, you can go ahead and turn that on, and it'll go ahead and turn on. So that's what happens when you do that, and you can turn it up, obviously, for the rain. But I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Also in the control center, if you go to text, like the big bold text, it's more smooth. In the previous beta it wasn't smooth, so Apple made it more smooth going from each of the all apps into home screen only, which is pretty cool. This just makes for a better experience on iOS 15 for the text size. You can obviously put that text size up for all apps, or you can put it down like where the text is super small. Now in the weather application, if you look at if you go over here and look at the 2 a.m. in the previous beta, it was kind of spaced out where it was 2 space a.m. and now it's 2 a.m. and the font is a little bolder than it was in the previous beta of iOS 15. Also, if you go down to where it says rainfall 10 miles, it's more opaque. All of this text is more opaque to where you can see it. And obviously it is not that, it is partly cloudy in New York anyways. But all the text is more opaque to where you can see it in a little bolder. If you look closely, it's a little bolder and more opaque. So if we go into settings and we go to accessibility and then voiceover, and we go down, we have a new option for quick settings. If we go into here, it just gives you some sounds, some audio ducking, the volume, and you can undo any of these, like the ones that you don't want if you use this. Focus, come on. You can use any of these to your advantage with quick settings. If we go to privacy and then location services, if we go to privacy and then location services right here, and then we go all the way to the bottom, system, focus, come on. And then we go all the way to the bottom. Status bar icon, I don't know if you can see that. Okay, just a second. Okay. Yeah, right there. Status bar icon. That was not there before. This shows your location. That shows the location services icon in the status bar when the services above request your location. So this is basically just a little change to tell you if something's using your location without you knowing, or if you allowed it to use your location. This shows it in your status bar if it's using your location. Oh. Okay, so when you go to erase this iPhone, you can see it's a little different than in Beta 3. So in Beta 3, it didn't give much of a option, or it didn't give much of a description of what you're about to do. But as you can see in this version of iOS 15, it says erasing will sign you out of your Apple ID and remove your personal data so this iPhone can safely be traded in or given away. The following items will be safely removed from this iPhone. So it just gives you a little more of a description of what you are about to do. If you're going to trade it in, if you're going to just keep it as a backup phone, it gives you more of a idea of what you are about to do before you do it. So you can just push not now if you don't want to do that. And you can also back it up in case you don't want to do that. So yeah. So if you go into the Smart Rotator to stack, edit stack, and then Smart Rotate right here, as you can see, I'm going to turn it off, and then look at the animation is a little bit more smoother for it. So when you turn Smart Rotate on, that animation is a lot cooler, and I think Apple should do more like this to their animations. Just the little details, like the little animations, they will be greatly noticed. Like, it's really cool how it does this, edit stack, and then again, this is in a new beta. That's really cool how they did that animation in Beta 4. So in Safari, if you look at the bottom, you now have a little refresh button. And I don't want to make it as if you can't, I don't know that you can refresh like this. I do, but what if you're all the way down, here, all the way at the bottom, and you want to refresh? Apple put this in so that if you want to refresh, you can refresh down here and it'll just take you to the top of the page. So I don't want any confusion that I don't know that you can just swipe up from the top. This thing right here at the bottom is so that you can refresh if you're all the way at the bottom of your page in Safari. So I do want to mention that the spotlight bug is actually fixed. I was having problems, and this really annoyed me, that the spotlight search just wouldn't work. Sometimes it would be blank, sometimes stuff wouldn't show up in the spotlight search, but I am happy to tell you that Spotlight Search is now fixed in iOS 15 Developer Beta 4 and Public Beta 4. So there was a problem people were having in iOS 15 Developer Beta 3 where you couldn't, so if you go up here to your widgets, and if you go to the same size widget in, like, let's say, the App Store, So this widget and this widget, these two widgets are the same. So now in the previous beta you couldn't stack these, but I am happy to say that now you can stack the widgets, stack two widgets at a time. That bug is fixed, finally and thankfully. Okay. I have been seeing reports from other users and people complaining about live wallpapers not working for them. Wallpapers are working fully fine for me. Maybe a reboot would help. Like, if you reboot your device, you can probably use live wallpapers. But this, I feel like this is a thing on Apple's end that it's not working, and they need to fix this. But I can say, if you're on Beta 3, update to Beta 4, because live wallpapers are probably now fixed. I'm not having a problem, so I wouldn't know, but I think it's fixed in Beta 4. So also, in the Twitter application, a lot of users, including me, are having issues with the Twitter application crashing, like, in random points of time using Twitter. Like, when I try to tweet something out, it crashes. When I'm replying to a tweet, sometimes it crashes. Even after they updated it, people are still having problems with tweeting stuff out on Twitter, but hopefully the developers of Twitter will actually fix this. People are also having problems. This is the number one thing people are having problems with is Twitter crashing. Number two, banking applications are also crashing. People are reporting that they are having a hard time opening their banking applications on iOS 15. The banking applications probably need to be updated and aren't optimized for iOS 15, so that's why they are crashing, the banking applications. So I would just be patient and wait for banking applications to actually work, or just downgrade. I really don't know. So now let's talk about the connectivity, the performance. The connectivity has actually been really good on iOS 15 Developer Beta 4. I have problems with any crashing of the connectivity or anything wrong with the connectivity on iOS 15 Developer Beta 4. So I would say that the connectivity is pretty good and will just get better as we go on with the betas. So all my connectivity issues are fixed, and I hope they are fixed for you guys. As performance goes, performance has been really good, and I'm very surprised at how good it's been. I have had basically no problems with the performance on iOS 15 Developer Beta 4, besides the crashing on Twitter. I'm still having problems with that, but that's because the app needs to be updated. So as performance goes, it is amazing. The performance, I can go into an app, I can go out of an app, I can multitask just fine. I just can't tweet on Twitter. As the battery life goes, battery life has been pretty decent if you go into my battery health. If I go into battery health and I go into battery health again, as you can see, my iPhone SE 2020 is currently at, I don't know if that can focus, it is at 95% battery capacity. There we go. It is at 95 battery capacity, and it is doing pretty good. As you can see with my screen on time with screen off time, it's been pretty good. I'm getting about 8 hours of on time use. I'm probably having to charge this device like 2 times a day, which is pretty good, because in the first beta I was having to charge my phone like 3 times a day. It was bad, but it has definitely got better from Beta 1, Beta 2, and Beta 3, and I am very impressed with how Apple is doing. And I also would say, for people wondering if they should try out this iOS 15 Developer Beta 4 or iOS 15 Public Beta 4, I would say that it's at the point where I would recommend that you can install this on your daily driver. If you don't have to worry about banking apps, then go for it. So, because it is very smooth in my experience. Twitter sometimes crashes, but that's basically it. I have some YouTube glitches where when I'm in a video, it doesn't show the volume up, volume down, but that's on YouTube's part. They're probably going to update that. So if you were considering that you want to download this, then I would say go for it. But if you want to wait for Beta 5 of iOS 15, Public Beta 5, then I would, just to be extra safe, then you can do that too. That is pretty much it for iOS 15 Developer Beta 4. There's nothing but good things to say about it, because the performance, the battery life, everything about iOS 15 Developer Beta 4 is way, way better, and Apple is on the right track with getting this to perfection for September. Okay, so I wanted to kind of hit on iOS 14.7.1. In my experience, iOS 14.7.1 was very good. It's just a better version of iOS 14.7 and more secure. And I would recommend you installing it if you, of course, aren't on iOS 15 Developer Beta 4. So now we're going to talk about what's next for Apple. So if we go to the calendar right here, why won't my thing focus? So if we go here, so August, so we are already almost into, so we are well into August. I can't believe it's already August 2021. Anyway, we might be on a 1 week cycle, but it's very, very slim because August 3rd has already passed and we're still on beta 4. So I would expect it to come out I would expect it to come out next week on the week of the 14th or the week of the 19th, just to be safe. So that's when iOS 15 Developer Beta 4 and 15 Public Beta 4 will come out. Or that's my sort of guess on when it'll come out. Or Apple could do something weird like they did last time. I think it was Beta 2, where it was on a Thursday when we didn't expect it. So it could be tomorrow. It could be next week. We really don't know. I'm just making a guess, an educated guess on when I think it's going to. But you never know. I am leaning towards that we're on a 2 week cycle. I think after Beta 5 releases, we'll be on a 1 week cycle. So the week of the 21st will be Beta 6. The week of the 28th will be Beta, 7. Then Beta 8, leading into September with Beta 9 probably. And then the RC build. And then the final release on either the week of the 19th or the week of the week of the 19th or the week of the 25th. So that's what's next for Apple. As far as a iOS 14.8 Beta 1, I still think that's possible, but if it doesn't get released next week, then I don't think we're getting it because that's pushing it close because they're obviously releasing iOS 15 and iOS 14 at the same time. So 14.8, if it doesn't get released next week, 14.8 Beta 1, if it doesn't get released next week on the week of the 14th, then I don't think it's really going to happen. But you never know with Apple. So that's my prediction when we'll see 15. That's my prediction when we'll see iOS 15 Beta 5 and a potential iOS 14.8 version of iOS. So there you go, guys. That's iOS 15 Beta 4, some additional new features and more iOS updates and news. We talked about the battery life, the performance, the cell connectivity, and all that stuff. There were more features in this iOS 15 Beta 5, Beta 4 than I expected. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like, subscribe, watch one of the videos on the screen to learn more about iOS 15 Beta, and I'll see you guys there. Bye.